So we're going to talk about some option strategies. Options can be used in variety of ways. You can of course use the options by themselves in isolation. Uh, as we have learned from the payoffs for the call and put options, options actually can be quite risky. But if you want to speculate and you're willing to take that kind of risk, you can potentially do that in exchange for earning higher returns. But options can also be combined with other assets. You can combine options with stocks. You can combine two options together to achieve variety of goals. Sometimes options are used for risk management or for insurance. Sometimes they are used for generating extra income and things like that. So what I want to do is I want to go over some of the popular strategies using options, and these are by no means the only strategies. This is not an exhaustive list. There are of course many strategies that you can find, but what is important for understanding these and other strategies is basically a very thorough understanding of option payoffs for both the buyer and the writer, right? So we have already covered that part. So make sure you are very thoroughly familiar with option payoffs for the buyer and the writer. That would help you in understanding these various option strategies, and for our purposes actually that's perhaps the most important thing. Okay, so let's look at some of these strategies. The first one is a protective put. A protective put involves buying a put option in conjunction with shares of a stock, right? So let me actually use an example to illustrate how this protective put works. So let's write that down. Protective put. And what is the strategy? Buy shares of a stock and plus buy a put option on that stock. Okay, so if you're buying say 100 shares of a stock, you can buy one put contract. That would be 100 options. So that would actually be uh, an equivalent amount, right? So let me use an example here. Let's say you buy stock at $90 per share, right? So your stock price is $90. Of course, when you're buying this shares of a stock, you are hoping for the price to go up, right? I mean, that's why you're taking the long position, but you're also worried that the price might actually go down significantly, right? And you want to protect yourself from excessive losses in case of a share price decline. And that's where this put option comes into picture. And that's why we have this name protective put, right? So let me write down this information for put option. You buy put option on this stock with the exercise price of say $80. Okay, exercise price is $80. Let me put a premium also here. Premium is say uh, $5, right? So that's the put premium, $5. Okay, so how does that work? How is this going to help you in preventing excessive losses? So again, remember the goal of the strategy is to protect yourself from excessive losses, meaning that if you buy the stock at 90 and let's say it goes higher to like $100 or 120 or whatever, that's not where this put option will be beneficial. Exercise price is 80, meaning that the option is giving you the right to sell the share at 80, right? So it would be useful only if the price is below 80, not above 80. Okay, so let me illustrate here how this is going to work. Let's say So what about the expiration here? So let's say you buy this stock at 90 per share and you plan to hold it for say 3 months, right? So what you will do is you will buy this put option that is expiring in about 3 months. So just to match with your investment horizon, right? And then again, we are going to assume that you hold on to this position till expiration, right? And let's say at expiration, the stock price is 70. All right, so the price has actually gone down, right? Stock price is what? 70 now. So what does your payoff look like now? You have two securities here. You have the stock. uh, you bought it for 90, but now the price is 70. After 3 months, you're looking at a loss of $20 from your stock position. However, what about your put option? Well, for the put option, remember the payoff from the put option is X minus ST if X is greater than ST. Again, you have the right to sell at 80 and the stock price is 70. So you buy at 70, sell at 80, right? That's what you're thinking. So that would be the payoff from the put options, $10, right? 80 minus 70. Again, make sure if you're not comfortable with these payoffs to actually review those payoffs again. So what has happened here on your stock position, you have lost $20, but from your put option you actually made $10. Again, at this point I'm not accounting for this premium. I'll talk about premium later, right? So we are only looking at the payoff, right? Remember, I wrote payoff here, so this is not the net gain or loss. So you lost 20 here and you recovered 10 from your put option. So overall, what is your net payoff? So minus 20 plus 10, right? So overall your loss is $10. So you did not lose $20, you actually lost only $10, and all you paid this $5 premium in addition. Okay, now imagine another scenario. Let's say the stock price actually goes to 60, right? So now you're looking at a decline of $30 from your stock position. But what about your put option? The put option would now be what? 80 minus 60, right? So you will get back $20 from your put option. So if the stock price falls to 60, you will lose $30 from your stock, but you will recover $20 from your put option. Again, overall, it would be still a $10 loss, right? So what this tells us is that no matter how low the stock price goes, right? If the stock price goes to uh, 50, you will lose 40 here, but you will recover 30 here, and so on, right? No matter how low the stock price goes, you're not going to lose more than $10, right? So uh, so that is how this put option is protecting you from excessive losses. So if you think about this particular option strategy, this is exactly like insurance. Okay, you're paying the premium to buy the insurance, right? What is your premium? $5, right? So just think about this analogy with, say, your car insurance, right? You pay a premium. One of the things that affects your premium is your deductible, right? How much deductible you set. And what does deductible mean? Deductible basically means that let's say you set your deductible to $500 on your car insurance. That means first $500 of loss will come from your pocket, and the insurance is going to kick in for any loss that is in excess of $500, right? If your car is damaged, first $500 you have to pay from your pocket, right? So that's the deductible. So it's the same thing here. In this strategy, you have set your deductible at $10. Okay, by choosing the exercise price that is $10 below the current stock price or your purchase price, you're setting your deductible at $10. So you see, your $10 loss is always there, right? And what the put option does is it protects you from any loss in excess of $10, right? So if your loss is $20, first $10 come from your pocket, the put option covers the rest. If your loss is $30, if the price falls to 60, your stock position loses $30, your put option will give you back 20, you will still be losing 10. So you have set your deductible at 10, you're saying that I'm willing to take $10 loss, but not more than that, right? So this is exactly like insurance. Of course, just like insurance, you can change your deductible. If you lower your deductible, your premium is going to go up. So you will see that put option would cost higher. If you increase your deductible, your premium is going to go down, right? So this is exactly like insurance. So this is your protective put strategy. Okay, let's look at the next one, covered call. All right, so in this case of covered call, again we'll look at an example. Covered call. Okay, let me move this here. All right, so what you're doing in covered call is you are again have a long position in the stock, so you buy stock plus you write a call option on the stock. You're not buying the call option, you are writing the call option. Okay, and then how does that work? Again, looking at numbers. So here, let's say you buy uh, your stock at $40 per share. Okay, again, when you are taking a long position in the stock, you're hoping for the price to go up, right? You're hoping for the price to go to say 50 or 60 or whatever. In this case, you actually, let's say, have a specific price target. You're thinking that if the price goes to $50 per share, I'm going to sell it, right? So that is your target. You want to make $10 from this stock position. Okay, and or you might have like a percentage target that I want to make 25%, right? So 25% of 40, that's $10. So that is what your goal is, right? So instead of actually putting in a sell order at 50, what you can do is you can write a call option on stock with exercise price of 50. All right, so you're writing a call option on the stock with exercise price of 50 simultaneously. So you buy the stock and write a call option on the stock. Because you're a writer, remember, writer is the seller, so you are actually collecting the premium, and that is really the key for this strategy. You collect a premium here, right? So let's say the premium is $5, right? Just arbitrarily. So by writing the call option, you're making this extra $5, right? And that is what this strategy is about, making this extra income, right? So how will this strategy work? Let's say the stock price goes down. Well, you have this call option with exercise price of 50. So what does that mean? Well, again, when you're thinking about writing the option, you always have to think it from the buyer's perspective. What would the buyer do? So if the stock price goes to 30, right? The buyer of this option has the right to buy the stock at 50, but if the price is lower than 50, then the buyer is not going to exercise that option. So nothing happens if the price goes lower, right? You get to keep this premium and the option would just expire. Let's look at the situation when the stock price goes up, right? So let's say a stock price at expiration. So again, we assume the same scenario, that you have a certain investment horizon, you buy the option that is expiring at a time when your investment horizon ends, and you hold on to this position till expiration. At expiration, let's say the stock price is 60, so the price has actually gone up, right? So what happens here, again in terms of payoff, so from your stock position, your payoff would be so you have 60 and you paid 40, so you make $20 here. And from the return call, right, return call, what happens in this case? uh, so again, think from the buyer's perspective. Stock price at expiration is 60. The buyer is holding this call option with exercise price of 50. Buyer has the right to buy the stock at 50 and the buyer can actually sell it at 60. So the buyer is going to have a payoff of $10, right? So what would be the writer's payoff then? If buyer's payoff is ST minus X, writer's payoff is negative of ST minus X. So the writer actually loses $10. So, and you are the writer here, by the way, right? So you have the return call. So you are going to lose $10 in payoff. Again, remember, we're talking about payoff. You're not accounting for this premium here. So from your stock position, you make 20, but then from your return call, you lose $10. So overall, how much is your payoff? So 20 from the stock minus 10 from the return call, you end up with $10, right? Okay. Uh, and no matter where the stock price ends up, let's say the stock price goes to 70, right? So how much would you have? 70 minus 40 equals 30 from your stock position. How much would you have from the return call? Well, it would be negative of 70 minus 50, right? The buyer is going to make $20, so you're going to lose $20. So you make $30 from your stock position, but you're going to lose $20 from your return call, and overall you will still end up with only $10 here, right? So you're not going to make more than $10, right? But remember, that was your original target. You bought the stock at $40 per share, and goal is to make $10, right? That was your target. So you are meeting that target, but you're not just meeting that target of making $10. Remember this premium, this is extra income, right? This is extra income that you are making. So in addition to that $10 that you had set your eye on, you are collecting this extra $5 as well, and that is your extra income on top of the $10. So not only are you able to achieve your target, you are able to actually generate extra income. So you know, there is really no downside to this covered call strategy. I mean, perhaps the only potential downside is that uh, uh, you change your goal, right? So when it is at $40 per share, when you buy it, your goal was to make $10 and then sell it at 50 and just keep that $10. But later on, let's say you decide that, oh no, I think I'm going to hold on to it. I think it's going to go even higher. So obviously, if it does go higher, you will end up making more than $10 per share, right? But in this strategy, you cannot make more than $10 per share, because whatever extra this you're getting from the stock price is offset by this return call, right? But if your goal is set in stone, you've decided that that's all I want to make from this position and I'm going to sell it, no matter what, I'm going to sell it at 50. Instead of actually selling it at 50, you can actually do this covered call, and not only would you be able to achieve that goal, you will be able to collect this extra premium of $5 per share, right? So that is the covered call strategy, a very popular strategy since it allows you to enhance your overall return, right, while achieving your investment goals. All right, then let's talk about straddle. All right, so straddle is a combination of a call and a put option. So let's again go back to the whiteboard and let's see how this straddle can be useful for investors. All right, straddle. All right, so in this straddle, you are buying call option and you're buying a put option, buying call option and buying put option, right? So let's say you buy one contract of each or two contracts of each, right? These options have the same expiration date, okay, and they have the same exercise price. So let's say the exercise price for both call and put, right? So they have the same exercise price, calling that X is say $40. Okay, exercise price is 40. And since you're buying both the options, you obviously have to pay the premium for both of them, right? So call premium is say $6 and put premium is say $4. So total premium you're paying is $10, right? For each share, you're paying $10 in premium. Okay. How is this useful? Why would you want to do this? Remember, call is a bullish position. You're hoping for the price to go up. Put is a bearish position. You're hoping for the price to go down. And here you're buying both call and put, right? So how will that help? Buying both a bearish and a bullish security, right? So how does that help you? How is that beneficial? So to see that, let's look at an example. So buy call and buy put, they have the same expiration. Okay, so again, you wait till expiration, and at expiration, let's say, let me actually put the current stock price to here. Current stock price is 40, right? So you're buying at the money option. The stock price is 40 and you're buying a call and put option on. You're not buying the stock in this strategy, okay? You're not buying the stock. You're actually buying the options. You're buying the call and the put uh, at the money, right? So stock price is 40. Your exercise price of the two options is also 40. So let's say at expiration, the stock price is 50. Okay, so whatever is the expiration, let's say it's 3 months out or 6 months out or whatever is your time horizon, right? At expiration, the stock price is $50 per share, so it has gone up from 40 to 50. What does your payoff look like, right? Again, let's talk about the payoff. So payoff from the call option, your payoff would be 50 minus 40, $10, right? Call option gives you the right to buy at 40 and the actual stock price at expiration is 50. So buy at 40, sell at 50, you will make $10. What about the put option? What is the payoff from the put option? Well, the payoff from put option is 0. This put option is worthless, right? This put option is worthless. You have the right to sell at 40. Right to sell as 40 is valuable only if I can buy below 40 and then sell for 40, but the stock price here is 50. So I don't want to buy at 50 and sell at 40. I'll just let this option expire. My payoff from the put option is 0. So what happens here in this strategy? Well, you make $10 in payoff from the call option. You don't make anything from the put option. What is your total payoff from the two options? Well, it's $10. What was your total premium that you paid for the two options? Well, that was also $10. So this stock price 50 is actually a break-even point, right? You don't make anything, you don't lose anything. Your total payoff is $10, but then you paid $10 in premium. So this completely offsets what you make in payoff, right? So this is a break-even point, right? If the stock price at expiration is 50, then you don't make anything, you don't lose anything. Okay, now let's look at another scenario here. Let's say the stock price at expiration is stock price at expiration is 30, right? So now the beginning stock price was 40, now it has actually gone down to 30. What happens in this case? Again, if you look at the payoffs from your call and the put, from the call option, the payoff is 0. You have the right to buy at 40. You don't want to buy at 40 and sell at 30, so you let this option expire. Your call option does not make anything for you. But what about the put option? Put option gives you the right to sell at 40. So you can buy at 30 and sell at 40, and that would lead to a $10 payoff. Again, in this case also, your total payoff is $10, right? In this case, you're making 10 from the put option. Earlier, you were making 10 from the call option. Total payoff is 10. Again, your premium was $10. So this is a break-even point. So you have two break-even points. All right. So let's write that down. This is break-even. And this is also break-even. All right. So you break even at 50, you break even at 30. Any price more than 50, you will make more than $10 from the call and nothing from the put, so your payoff would be more than 10. Any price below 30, you will make more than $10 from the put, you will not make anything from the call, so your payoff would be more than 10. So any price above 50 or below 30, you will actually have a profit because your premium is 10 and your payoff would be more than 10. So if the price is more than 50 or less than 30, you will make money. If the price is between 50 and 30, right, between that range of 30 to 50, you will actually lose money. The worst case scenario for this strategy is if the price doesn't change at all. I mean, the beginning price was 40. If let's say the price ends up at 40, right, both your call and put option have zero payoff, you lose the entire premium, right? So that's the worst case scenario if the stock price at expiration ends up at 40. It doesn't change at all. But you make money if the price moves significantly in either direction. Either it goes up a lot beyond 50 or it goes down a lot below 30. In either of those cases, you actually make money. So that's the usefulness of this straddle, right? That you can actually profit from movement in either direction as long as that movement is big enough. Okay, so imagine a situation when there is like a lot of uncertainty, right? Earnings are being announced, or some new patent is being announced, or some decision on lawsuit is pending and is imminent, and things like that. There's a lot of uncertainty for a particular stock. If things go favorable, the stock price can go up a lot. If the things don't go in favorable direction, then the stock price can actually decline a lot, right? So you don't know which way the stock is going to move, but you can profit as long as you believe that there is going to be a significant move in the stock price. You can profit from this straddle. Okay, so it's basically a non-directional strategy that allows you to profit from significant movements in upside or downside. All right, so that's the benefit of straddle. Now just keep in mind that there's no free lunch. I mean, if the markets are actually expecting significant movement, then the premiums will accordingly go up, so you will end up paying more in the premium. So just like any other investment, your view has to be different from the market view for this strategy to work out. All right, so this is not like easy money here. I mean, there's no free lunch, as you perhaps already know. So but you in certain situations, as you can imagine, this kind of a strategy can be quite beneficial. And like I said, there are many other types of strategies. You have, for example, spreads, right? So there are like vertical spreads, and there are calendar spreads and things like that, in which you're buying like two options with different exercise prices, or you're buying two options with different expiration dates and things like that to achieve a certain purpose, right? So I'm not going to go into details of all this various strategies that are out there. I just wanted to give you a flavor of how you can use options, what are the most popular strategies. And if, again, as I said before, if you're very thorough with the payoffs, then you can understand all these various strategies quite easily, right? So that is the most important thing. Make sure you are very, very thorough with the option payoffs, right? For both the buyer and the writer. And you can perhaps come up with your own strategies as well, right? So that concludes our discussion from chapter 15. Next up is option pricing. So that will be chapter 16. Again, as I said before, that discussion will keep at a more intuitive level, talk about various factors that affect the price of the option. Okay.